G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, back again with another episode of r/Entitled People. Now if you love this content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and enjoy some bloody good high quality content. Thank you. Now our first post is by user FedUpCat, titled, "Yes, it's my truck, and no, I won't help you move, and no, you can't buy it for $50. Now, this is long, so grab a cup of coffee, tea, or whatever keeps you happy and reading. So I live in a senior housing community for people aged 55 and older. We all have identical one-bedroom cottages that set up in groups of 4, or quads, so that all of our front doors face inwards towards each other. So if I open my front door, I have a very clear view of the front door of my 3 neighbors, and because I'm in the back of this quad, I also have a view of the parking area. I think the purpose of grouping the houses this way was to create a friendly and safe atmosphere. However, it's just creepy in a you have no privacy kind of way. I am female 57, disabled, and have a 16-year-old pickup truck that gets me where I need to go most of the time. If you've ever owned a pickup truck, you'll understand my frustration. If you haven't owned one, talk to anyone who has, and they will tell you that according to friends, family and acquaintances, neighbors and even complete strangers, you have it so that you can help them move, haul furniture, or a tree that they cut down, and anything else they can't fit in the trunk of their car. And, because it's a pickup truck, it can be mistreated, abused, dented, scratched up, beaten up, and treated like a piece of heavy construction equipment, and you shouldn't care because, well, it's a truck. I have a neighbor, female, about 65 years old, that has kind of made a pest of herself since the day I moved in. I've done my best to be neighborly, nice, and accommodating, but each time I interact with her, I'm left feeling used. The neighbor, let's call her Karen, has come over pretending to want to visit me, which she does for about 2 minutes, and then asks me for something. In the 3 years that I've been here, she's asked me to set up 2 TVs at different times, take a new alarm clock out of its packaging, and then teach her how to operate it. I've been asked to fill out her food stamp paperwork, fill out information for her lease renewal, read a piece of mail to her, and explain it because she didn't understand it, to take her places, and to loan her money for the bus. And that's just a few. Now that you get the idea of what I've dealt with before, it's time for the story. One Monday morning, Karen comes beating on my door. She does what I call a cop knock, loud, hard, and repeated, around 8 a.m., waking me up. I'm a night owl, by the way. I go to the door and she's standing there holding her natural gas bill, telling me how she needs a ride to the gas company's office to talk to them about paying the bill, and then hands me the bill. I look at it, hoping to find a phone number for her to call, but there isn't one. But I do see that her bill is for about $17. So, I take her across town with her providing the directions, since I had never been to this building. The gas company did not have an office in town, so I guess this was maybe a payment center. I drop her at the front, park, and wait for her. Karen comes out saying they can't help her there, and asks me if she could just call them to make arrangements to make the payments, since she didn't have the money. I tell her that's what I would do, and bring her back home. We basically made this trip for nothing. 2 days later, there is another loud, repeated banging on my door, waking me up just before 9 a.m. Karen is back, and seems to be a little frantic. She needs a ride again. This time she is very vague about why she wants to go, but left me with the impression that something was going to get turned off, repossessed, or turned over to collections if she didn't go. She's also vague as to where she wants to go. She keeps telling me that it's down by the casino, across the street from the gas station. I told her I'd take her, but she would have to point me in the right direction since I've never been to the casino. She gives me turn-by-turn directions until she has me turn left onto the entrance road for the casino. I'm looking around for any businesses or even the gas station, and I'm not seeing anything other than the casino in front of us and open land on either side. So, I ask her where I'm supposed to be dropping her. Karen points to an upcoming sign and says, "See that sign that says valet? Just follow that sign." Yep, you guessed it. Karen had me drop her at the front entrance of the casino. She'd lied to me by omission. She didn't ask me to take her to the casino, which I would probably have done since it's none of my business how she spends her money. She asked me to take her to a business near the casino. Yeah, well, I wasn't happy. On Monday, she couldn't afford to pay her $17 gas bill, and on Wednesday, she's going to the casino by tricking me into taking her. A week goes by, and I'm in the office paying my rent when Karen comes in, and she says, "Why didn't you tell me you were coming here today? Girl, I just walked all the way here." And I reply, "Didn't know you needed a ride. I can give you a ride back to the house if you would like." And I wait while Karen pays her rent and we walk out together. Now, I'm expecting to get in my truck and drive the 4 blocks back to my house. Karen had another idea. She says, "Take me to Everything's Cheap store." I say, "Where?" "To Everything's Cheap. Just turn here at the stop sign and I'll show you. It's not far." "Karen, I'm going to take you there, but I'm not shopping and I'm not going to sit in the parking lot and wait for you. You'll have to get another ride home or walk." "It's fine, I won't be long." I drop her at the front door and I go home. A couple of hours later, she bangs on my door and says, "Where did my ride go?" "Home. I told you that I wasn't going to wait for you." "I had all my stuff that I had to carry home. Now my back hurts." "I'm sorry, but I warned you." Karen walks away muttering things that I didn't understand and slammed her door. Skip ahead several months, and I run into Karen again as I'm paying my rent. She wants me to give her a ride to the Social Security office. I tell her that I can't as my truck is not running right, and I can't get too far from my home in it until I get it checked out and fixed. My truck started having issues, and it's been difficult to try to get it fixed with lockdown, a back issue that left me bedridden for several weeks, and 2 major hurricanes this year. There's nothing major wrong with the truck, it just needs a new starter and gaskets to fix the oil leak that's caused the starter to go bad. Karen replies, "But it's just a few blocks away and it's hot out here." I can't trust my truck to not leave me stranded with no way to get it home. "It'll be fine." "Maybe, but I'm not willing to risk it." Karen slaps the side of my truck and continues on her walk, and I go home in my truck. Another 3 days go by, and more banging on my door, and again I am awakened. It's 7:15 a.m. This time I'm angry, and I snatched the door open, and I say, "What?" Karen, standing there with her purse and house keys in her hand, as if she knows I'll say yes, says, "I need to go to the mattress store. I need to pick up my new queen-size mattress." "No, my truck still isn't running right." "But I need your truck to haul the mattress home." "No, it's not a heavy mattress." "Oh, so who's going to help you get it in and get it out of my truck and carry it into your house?" "The 2 of us can do it." "Karen, I have degenerative disc disease. The discs in my spine are disintegrating. I can't lift nor carry a mattress, even with someone helping." "But I already bought it. How am I going to get it home?" "Call friends or family to help you." "They don't have a truck and you do." "Yes, I have a truck, but there is no sign anywhere on it that says free moving company." I close the door on her and go back to bed. An hour later, more knocking. This time it's an older man, and he says, "Excuse me, but is that your truck?" He points at my truck in the parking lot, and I say yes. "Well, I have an upright piano that I need to move, and I was wondering if I could use your truck." "No." I glance over at the neighbor's house, and I see her peeking through a crack in her door. I have a sneaking suspicion she's put this guy up to see if I would help him. And he says, "You can drive the truck. I just need to have the piano hauled to my storage unit." "How are you going to get an upright piano into the bed of my truck?" "I'll just roll it up a ramp and into the back." "Do you know how much an upright piano weighs? 1 person can't push it up a ramp. If you use a ramp on my tailgate, you will break the tailgate and probably lose the piano in the process. My truck is large, but the rear end is not made for holding a piano and will cause the front end to lift off the ground, preventing my front-wheel drive truck from gaining traction and straining my 16-year-old engine. Well, could you call 4 or 5 of your male friends to help lift it into the back of the truck? No. So I closed the door on this man too. He didn't come right out and say it, but I felt like he wanted to borrow my truck so he could go pick up the mattress for Karen. Yeah, I'm a little suspicious. The following morning, I ignore the knocking that occurs every half hour or so over a 3-hour period until she finally gives up. Later that afternoon, I open my door to get the mail out of my box when a second man approaches me out of nowhere. It's like he was hiding around the corner waiting for me to come out of my house. Man 2 points at my truck. It irritates me every time someone does this, and he says, "Is that your truck?" Now I'm feeling very annoyed and snarky and say, "What gave it away? Is it because it's parked in a space clearly labeled with my house number? Or is it because someone told you who the truck belonged to?" I point at Karen's house, and he says, "Does it run?" Listen, I don't know what you're wanting me to pick up, deliver, move, haul, transport, or tow, but I am not a moving company, taxi, Uber, delivery service, or a tow truck. I won't be doing any of those things, and before you ask, I won't be allowing you or anyone else to drive my truck either. Now, do you have any other questions? Do you want to sell it? What? Why would I want to sell it? Well, since it needs fixing, I thought maybe you would want to sell it to someone who could afford to fix it. How do you know it needs fixing? Man 2 turns bright red and can't take his eyes off the ground and says, "I just thought if you sold it, you could buy something else and I could fix the truck." Tell Karen that I'm not selling you my truck so that you can fix it to give to her. Well, I wasn't going to give it to her. Me, pointing at his huge truck parked in Karen's designated space, says, "You want me to believe that you would rather have my 16-year-old truck that needs repair than your brand new truck? How stupid do you think I am?" As the old man silently stares at the ground, Karen flings her door open and marches up to me and says, "Just sell him your truck so he can fix it. You clearly aren't going to do it anytime soon. At least I will put it to good use. I need it, and I need it more than you apparently do. Now, he's willing to get it fixed for me, so just sell him the damn truck already." My truck is not for sale. When or if I get my truck fixed is absolutely none of your business. I'm going to call the office and tell them that you have a broken down truck sitting in the parking lot that needs to be hauled to the junkyard. They'll make you get rid of it or fix it. Man 2 says, "Karen, they can't do anything to her." Karen cuts him off. She's so angry, she's crying, shaking, and spitting as she screams, "Shut up! Stay out of this! I want that truck and I'm going to get it! I'll call the police, they will make her get rid of it." "Karen, the police aren't..." She cuts him off again. "Yes, they will! They'll listen to me!" She storms off to call the police. In the meantime, I brought a chair outside along with a can of soda and a bowl of microwave popcorn. I figured this was going to be a good show. Karen and Man 2 have gone inside her house to wait. The neighbor to my left has come out to see what's going on. Let's call her Mary. Mary can't stand Karen, so she drags a chair out and sits next to me and we share my popcorn. Enter Cop 1 and Cop 2. The cops arrive in about 5 to 6 minutes and walk up to Karen's door and knock while glancing around at Mary and me grinning. She answers and tells them that I have created an eyesore in the neighborhood by having an old beat-up, broken-down truck sitting in the parking lot, and she wants it removed immediately. Cop 1, pointing at my truck, yep, he does it too, and I can't help but roll my eyes and says, "That truck? Yes. That truck is clean, shiny, no dents, no scratches, new tires. Are you sure that's an eyesore? Yes. It's 10 years old and broken, and she doesn't want to fix it. It's just sitting there doing nothing for months." I say it's 16 years old. Cop 2 spins around surprised and says, "Seriously? That truck is that old? Wow, it's in great shape. You've taken good care of her." "Thank you." And Karen says, "I want that truck gone." Cop 2 walks over to me to discuss my truck's mechanical history. So I explained to him that in the 16 years that I've owned her, I have changed her oil every 3 to 4 months, given her a bath once a month, got her a new set of tires 6 years ago, and when I first began having problems with her starting, I bought a new battery. The old one was the original battery from when I bought the truck off the showroom floor. And when the battery wasn't the problem, I had a mechanic come and look at it. He determined that it was the starter and the gasket was leaking. All I was waiting on was my friend to come and help me start her. Someone needs to get under the truck and tap the starter while someone else turns over the ignition, so that I can get it to the mechanic's house for him to work on it. Karen says, "She's lying. That truck hasn't moved in 3 months. I'm now offering popcorn to Cop 2, who took a handful, and I say, wrong. It hasn't moved in 4 days. It's had problems for 3 or 4 months. Cop 1 says, "Miss Karen, there really isn't anything the police department can do for you. Her truck definitely isn't an eyesore, nor is it sitting there in pieces creating a safety hazard. She's driving down property values." Cop 1 starts chuckling and says, "Ha ha ha, Miss Karen, you were renting a house in government-subsidized senior housing. Why don't you tell us the real reason why you want her truck removed?" Mary, who has been silent until now, stands up and turns on her best diva soul sister voice and attitude and gives the cops the greatest Deep South beautiful black woman sermon I've ever heard. I'll try to write it as best as I can. "Oh, Lord Jesus, help us all. This here woman of the night want everything she can't have. Lord. I think it's 'cause she pulls her hair back so tight, Lord. She can only see what's in the back of her mind. Uh-huh. She wants her old saggy boy toy of the day here to buy my friend's pick-em-up truck, so she can go and pick him up. Lord, if you getting what I'm saying? He buyed and traded to her for a little roll in her nasty sheets. Lord Jesus, help us. And she thinks she all hot and sexy, so you believe her and take away my friend's truck. She a fool, She thinks she can fool you too, How the hell do you think she got 2 big-ass TVs in there? Cop 1 is bent over laughing hysterically, while Cop 2 is standing with his mouth open and his eyes wide. Cop 2 turns to Man 2 and says, "Is any of that true?" Man 2 is embarrassed, humiliated, and just looking tired, and says, "She wanted the truck and $50. Karen and Man 2 are arrested. Not sure what the exact charges were, but I heard words being thrown around like pandering, solicitation, scamming, and false complaint, among others. A couple of days later, Mary told me that Karen returned home. I guess she found a way to get bailed out. I haven't seen her, and I'm hoping that I don't. As for my pick-em-up truck, I'm still waiting to get her to the mechanic. My friend will be here on his next day off. He doesn't get them often to help me. It's a good thing I'm a patient person with a super diva as a friend and neighbor. It's also good to know that my truck is at least worth one 20-minute roll in the sheets and $50. Edit. Thanks for the awards, everyone. And just a little side note for those of you rolling your eyes at the fact that I offered a cop popcorn and he took it. I live in the Deep South in a smallish college town. The cops here are helpful, friendly, until provoked, and just generally good guys. When construction workers stole from me after Hurricane Laura, 2 cops came to investigate, and afterwards, I offered them both a bottle of water, and they accepted. And I think that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed these r/entitled people stories. Tell me what you thought of them down in the comments below. Have you got any stories similar to this one? And what did you think of that beautiful little speech at the end there? This has been Markee. I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.